Pastor Michelle.
Hello, Liz.
Hello. How
Hello,
are you?
Rebecca.
Thank you for joining me tonight.
I love joining you.
We're going to have a candid conversation. All things Emerge 2024.
Woohoo! I can't. First of all, how I feel like it's like a blink. Like we were just doing
It was just
last
2023.
year.
And like I'm looking at the stuff from 2023 and I'm like, wow, the pamphlets we gave out, just everything from last year, and just watching now what God is doing in this new year. Now, I will remind you of something that you said. Hello, Vivian. I see some girls are already jumping on. We are live on Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube. I cannot show the comments that are coming in from Instagram, but I do see you girls on there. I see Ezzy and I see our amazing boutique, our brand new, phenomenal boutique here in Winter Haven. I'm so excited.
Ooh.
This is one of our sponsors. Listen, this is going to be an exciting time to chat and talk all things Emerge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm really, really excited about this. This is so random, but I'm kind of like a random in my thoughts. I'm just kind of strange, but you know how when you make pasta and it's good the first time, but then when you put it in the fridge, like on the second time around, it's like so much more better than the first time. It wasn't that there was anything wrong with the first time. It's just like it had time for like all the ingredients to like simmer and stick and soak in. I feel like this. Oh my gosh, like the hairs like on my arms just stood up. I feel like that is what Emerge can be described as for 2024.
I like that. My husband just commented and he says it's even better for you the second time around.
Yes.
How it helps the body. It breaks down the sugar like overnight. It's crazy. He's just doing for that stuff. But yes, it's good for you in so many ways. And it tastes amazing. So I like that. I'm gonna say yes to that. Yes, the sauce is setting in, so it tastes even better. Listen, this sauce, Isabel, because you've been here during the Emerge devotionals here around the dining room table, so that sauce has been already simmering and it's ready for what God's gonna do October 5th. Hello, Darlene. Darlene, are you still in?
Hi.
I think she's on the other side of the country right now with family. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us tonight. So a lot of folks are joining because they want to know what's going to happen and transpire during this year's Emerge.
Yeah.
Conference is going to be most definitely it's the same. This is a women's conference, so we know that this is for women. Last year, we did something different where we opened it to the public during the worship service. This year's where it's just women from beginning to end, and we're not having like a long break because last year we had which was the conferences. Everybody went home, came back dressed up for evening service.
Yeah.
But we're not doing that this time. Yeah, Jen is on. Hi, Jen. She's excited.
Hi, Jen. I love you, Jen.
We're so excited for October. And so this year, we're going to stay in-house the entire time. Now, when I say in-house, does this look familiar?
Hey!
It's the home of Dare to Live Ministries. That's what it looks like on Sundays when we have church. But for Emerge, it's going to be all dolled up.
I love that.
It's going to be for us. So we're going to have round tables. There isn't going to be reserved seating. So you want to come early so that you can have a good spot to sit and be able to enjoy and sit with new people and with your friends, because we want to really connect. It's a time of connection. I would say that Emerge is for entrepreneurs, and a lot of people have heard me say this because I think this was the revelation of this brand new year as we were talking about Emerge. It's the first E being the entrepreneur, and
Yes.
entrepreneurs merging, because you broke
Yes.
down last year during your conference. You broke that down. You said, I don't know if a lot of people noticed, but if you take the E out and it's merge, and we
Yes.
as the body of Christ merge together
Mhm.
and come together. And I thought that was so amazing. And then January happens, and the merge that I see happening is with women entrepreneurs here in my community,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
something totally unexpected.
But it was God. It is God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand, as a, as an entrepreneur, and myself, and a woman, and a preacher of the gospel, women in general, it's tough in business, in ministry, in life. It really is tough. And I
Bring it
remember
on.
that, yeah, it's tough. And so when you gather together and merge together, with like-minded believers, I just solely believe in, the power of agreement. So when you're emerging like that, merging together, the power of agreement with the power of God, and hard work, because faith without
Yes,
works is dead. It's
absolutely.
absolutely amazing, what can be done in that type of community. I don't think there's enough. There's a lot of communities of women gathering, but for entrepreneurs, like Christian entrepreneurs, powerfully merging together, you don't see that.
And then this is the interesting part too, because then we also have because there's just been so many connections. And I just want to give a shout out, because let's make this about the sponsors right now, because
Yes.
we're speaking
Yes.
about these women entrepreneurs. Some of them I know personally, because I am part of a networking a group here in my community, as well as my devotionals that I have here every other Wednesday.
Mhm.
But some of them are just from social media. So the
I love
fact
it.
that these women, whether they've known God all their lives, or if they're just brand new in the
Uh,
gospel, they just, like one girl told me, my brother bought me a Bible 2 days ago, and she cannot wait to come
love
to
that.
Emerge. So let me just celebrate all of these amazing sponsors that we have this year. We have Melanie. She's going to put an amazing backdrop. We have Polk
Mhm.
County Moms. You have to follow them. Polk County Moms,
Oh
they're
my
always letting
God.
people know what's happening here. Uh,
Yes.
Marlene's Travel Agency. We have
Woohoo!
Primerica with life insurance and the Army Empire podcast, a roofing company. Listen, I've never met Paulina. I can't wait to meet her. And then the Proud Lion Center, where we always meet, and we had our recent brunch. We have Team Platinum. Anna's going to be with us. She's a realtor. We have from Naples, Florida, Stephanie
Come
Weeks,
on.
Repair, and Taisha Javier. She is AC. And then our amazing boutique here in Winter Haven.
Yes. Come
We had the Total
through.
Glow. The Total Glow has joined us as well. And I'm so excited with all of that. And of course, Dare to Live Ministries, you're here. The church,
Yes.
we have a church that is also sponsoring. Yes, what a blessing to be with like-minded, God fearing women. Yes, we definitely agree on that. Thank you so much. It's so important. And like you were saying, Pastor Michelle, there is a merging and an
Yeah.
emerging that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
And that to know that you can do both those things together is so powerful. It's so powerful.
I'm kind of speechless. I'm watching and I'm looking at the sponsors, and I'm like, wow, this is so much more than just a sponsorship. These are people that believe in what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Great connections.
I think that's so important. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times we need that. We need support. The same way we need the body of Christ. We need support in business and life, just to do life. And so I love this, Liz. I'm actually really, I'm not surprised, but I'm very in awe with what God is doing and how he's doing it in this year for Emerge, because honestly, you had to say yes to this first
Right. Right.
in order for this to then happen. So a lot has happened
Yeah.
in the last year for you.
It has. It has. God has really surprised me. And I was telling my mom, this was all just a prayer for connecting. I said, Lord, I want connections. And then he said, okay. And he, when God picks and chooses, and he says, okay, this is the environment, this is the group that I'm going to set you in. Not
Mm-hmm.
because they need you, but you need them.
Mm.
Because they may think, well, we need Liz. Like we're thankful Liz is with us, but they don't understand that I'm thankful for them as
I
well.
love that.
This
So
amazing community.
that's amazing because you just said that God presented you in this position to be amongst people. So when I think about Emerge and those that are watching, and if you haven't registered yet, this is your sign to register, because if you've been praying for community, let's say you don't even have a business, you don't, listen, just to connect with just women in general, a community, or you might, listen, I always say, if the 5 people that you hang around the most, that is who you are or who you become. And so you might not want a business, or you might not think of something, but if you hang around with women long enough that are doing something that you've never thought of, it might just birth something in you, stir something in you.
Yeah.
And so, but you have to put yourself in the midst of that. And so I really want to encourage women to join. First of all, let's talk about this pricing, because that's one that's unheard of. I know places, and there's nothing wrong. Listen, charge what you got to charge people. I understand. But I've seen way more than $40 for
Yeah.
a lunch, a gift, and powerful information, because this is going to be a time of what, Liz? We're looking at, it's going to be information, fellowship. I want you to tell us about that.
There's going to be those first 2 conferences of the morning, which you and I are going to tag team. It's going to be phenomenal. The theme of this year is build again. Build again. But it's not what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. Don't let the 2 words fool you. Build again.
Yeah.
But it's not what you think. You got to show up to find out what we're going to be referring to when you come. You're going to be inspired. This is like, when we say CEOs, we're not just talking about CEOs of a corporation, a business, a ministry. If you're a CEO of your household, if you're a single mom, you're running things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
If you're a mother, if you're a wife, you need to be at this event.
Yes.
Because you are the CEO of your household. You're helping with your husband run the household, and you want to be 100%. Like, you want to be able to learn and grow. And then we're going to jump into, after our 2 sessions of conferences, we're going to have an hour for lunch, because I'm going to feed you all, right? And if you see this on the price here, it says a commemorative gift.
Mm-hmm.
That, because I am the type of person that I'm a memory collector. Like, I love memories. It's almost like in the Word of God, when they were crossing the River Jordan and it had parted, and he told them, go get the stones of remembrance. And they brought stones, and put that right there where the waters had split. The men grabbed the stones to remember the miracle that God did at that time. So I'm the type that when I want to remember something, I like to have like some kind of small token of some sort to remind me of that time. So stones of remembrance. So I want you to take something home that's going to remind you of the conference, and part of that $40 charge that we're doing this year. After that,
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I feel like, and the thing about it is even in the hard times, because here's the thing about conferences, like life-changing moments, because Emerge is a life-changing moment. You really have to experience it. And I do believe in investing in yourself. And you know, a lot of times I do find, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I do find like if people, I love free, you know, people love free 99 and things like that, but there are certain things that if you don't invest in it, people don't even really show up for themselves. And so I feel like, you know, even with that small donation, that's an investment on yourself. And even that gift to remind you, because when you walk out those doors, the enemy's gonna try you. And
Mhm.
so it will remind you, like, I remember that experience that I had at Emerge.
Yeah.
And so Emerge, let me tell you, last year's Emerge for me was very life-changing.
Same.
Um, First of all, I spoke Spanish for the first time in a while. You remember that?
My husband's even applauding over here. That was a moment. That
It
was a
was a
moment. You
moment.
were under such a powerful flow as you were speaking
It was so
that all of a
powerful.
sudden the Spanish just came over you. It was wild. I was like,
And then I felt like there was a moment, because if most people don't know, we've known each other from social media for like 12 years or something like that. And then, but we've met, it's been 2 years since we physically met.
correct.
And then I feel like at that was a defining moment, even for the both of us, and what our connection. We didn't know exactly where the turn was going to take, but it was a defining moment of like, okay, there's something that we're getting ready to do
And be a part
further
of.
and be
Yes.
a part of.
Mhm.
And you know, you are a part of the DTL. You and your husband are part of the DTL family, and we are building together as you are building Emerge, and we support you in all that you do as well. And so, and then I wasn't at that time. I was doing cyber,
Yeah.
and
You were in a
so
different place.
I was in a different place, and so it was almost like God was dealing with me, because emerge, and I had the definition here, it emerges to move out of or away from something and come into view. And so I feel like this last year I've had to like move out of the way
Mm.
of certain things and let God do what he had to do in me, so that his purpose will be able to emerge even the more.
Wow.
And so I, and that began to, there was a stirring that happened last year. It literally, what, because I, you know,
Yeah.
me and you have just came into town. Like we were just figuring out Florida, Central Florida.
Literally. And we're only 10 minutes away from each other. And I
Yeah,
think
we're literally.
when we found that out, we were like, wait, what? You're in Davenport? No, wait, I'm in Davenport. Like, what's your address? I'm like, you're only 10 minutes from me, which is insane considering that we were cyber friends for
Crazy.
so many years. Last year was definitely an important time for us, for sure,
Mhm.
to understand and allow God to show us, because last year we had folks drive all the way to the parking lot and leave, like they didn't find parking.
I
There
know.
were people that could not, that wanted to be there, but something came up. And I truly believe if you're watching this right now and you're making a decision, or if you've already decided I'm going to be there,
Yeah.
be ready, because the enemy is going to try to stop and hinder you from making it to the place of your
Yeah.
blessing, to where you're
Yes.
going to receive that refreshing, where you're going to be able to receive a word from the Lord. It can come through so many different ways. This is a
Mhm.
divine appointment. Yes, Anne Marie, it's a divine appointment. It can come from a song that you hear that's sung. It
Yeah.
could come from a dance, because my daughter's going to come from Naples and she's dancing. And my sister-in-law just texted me. She's going to be doing a song too. She sent me the song and I told her I can't even listen to the whole song because the first 3 lines had me already in tears.
Oh my gosh. This is
So I
exciting.
don't know who the song is for, but it is amazing. Or it may come from my mom when she preaches the word during the service.
I'm actually really excited about that.
I am excited.
I'm a huge, I don't want to say a fan, because that like sounds weird, but I definitely admire your mom. Like your mom is
That
like
is my mom.
fire, fire, fire. So I've been a part of you. I forgot the name when you did that course, that teaching with her. Do you remember?
Breaking Ground Zero. I think it was
Yes.
Ground Zero.
And then I saw when you had when you were interpreting for her, at a bilingual service. I saw it, and you can feel the glory of God. And so I'm really like, I'm excited.
Yeah. And she
I'm
doesn't have
excited for
like
that.
you and I have our topic that we're going to be talking about
Yeah.
during conferences, and that's more teaching, that's more
Yeah.
imparting, you and I already know. I don't want to say
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
but her flow is different because you can decide if you're coming after lunch at 1 o'clock, the musicians are already going to be showing up, and the singers, wait a minute, let me just play a little. Remember this?
Oh God.
That was so fun. That
That
worship,
was powerful.
they're coming back, all of them, which I'm so thankful for. Mind you, these guys come from different churches and they're busy. They're very well-known musicians. So the fact that they're saying we're separating this date to be with you, Liz, is huge. So I am so thankful that we're going to have a time of worship, which to me is just thanksgiving and opening our hearts to the Lord. So when my
Mhm.
mom steps up to bring the word, I know that it's going to be a divine moment for all of us. And just to kind of share for those who do not know my mom, the first time that I went with her, she's my parents were always international speakers since I was a little girl. They would
Mhm.
travel the world to preach the gospel. And the first time I saw my mom preach internationally, she was talking about this woman who her very first daughter, who she loved very much, and she was praying for her and praying for her future, and how her daughter, at the age of 13, was sexually abused, and she had a baby, and it was just a very difficult time. And she was like, the enemy is trying to steal my daughter's purpose. And she's just sharing this story about this woman who was just devastated with what was happening with her daughter. However, she was explaining that this woman could see that in her daughter there was a conviction. She knew that she had shared the gospel to this girl, and that she would like went into pure warfare for her daughter and for her daughter's future. And it was such an amazing story, the way my mom depicted this woman's life and her relationship with her daughter, and then watching her daughter become this great help with different things in the kingdom of God. And all of a sudden, how her whole life was just restored because there was faith, and because she prayed and she believed in what God could do for this girl, and how this woman just trusted the Lord. And she gave this whole entire story, and then at the end she was like, I am that woman.
Oh,
and
Jesus, come
and my
on.
daughter is right here. Pastor Michelle,
Oh,
when I never like as I was listening to her, I didn't even understand, wait, she's talking about us. And it wasn't until she said, I am that woman, that
mm.
everybody kind of like, and she said, and my daughter's here, Liz, stand up. And when I stood up, Pastor Michelle,
Ooh.
I turned around, there was thousands of women, and they were
Mm.
bawling and crying, and the thunderous applause. It was that moment that I realized that no matter what it is that you go through in your life, God uses the worst things, right? What the
Yeah.
enemy meant for evil, and he turns it for your good. So when I tell you that my mom is an amazing speaker, and she
Oh,
is
yeah.
an amazing, powerful woman
Oh,
of God,
yeah.
the
She's
way she
powerful.
the way she brings the word, you do not want to miss that service. It's going to be phenomenal.
Ooh, I'm
It's
ready.
I'm
And
ready.
it's almost time. So I do have a question that people have been asking me that I haven't
Mhm.
asked you. So you're like getting put on the spot right now. But um, so I have had messages from people that are out of state, cannot make it. Are you going to do a private link live that they can pay for?
So I had somebody actually come up with this idea, and I thought it was fantastic because we have women who are paying for this event to be
Yep.
here live in person.
Yep.
What we are going to do is each of the sessions will be recorded. And
Okay.
for a small fee, I don't know, $15, $20, half of what, because they're not here. We're not
Yeah.
serving food or anything like that, but that they can get the link to watch.
Mm.
It will be after the fact.
Okay.
There will be an opportunity to watch the conferences and the service with just one link. So they have to
I
register.
love that.
The same way all of the women here had to register to join, they
Yeah.
will also, and then it'll be the virtual Emerge 2024, and anybody could have that link. Does that make sense?
I love that.
So that's what we'll do, and it'll say, it'll be like like modules, and they can
Mhm.
watch your session, they can watch my session, they can watch, and
That's gonna be exciting.
dance
Well,
numbers.
that's great. So now they know. Now they know.
Yay! Okay, I see Cynthia. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want the audio to be clear. We want everything to look crisp so that you're able to really
Right.
enjoy it as much as the person who was actually sitting there. Um,
Mhm.
and we'll do that. I think that was actually Francis's idea. She comes
Oh,
here.
that's a great idea. I love it because I did have some people ask me, like, I'm not gonna be there. I mean, I can't fly there at the moment. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I'll ask.
Listen. Alone, we are small. I heard somebody say this yesterday. Alone, we are small, but together we're giants. So let's do this thing together. Let's do
Yes.
this thing together. You belong at Emerge 2024, October 5th. You don't want to miss it. And what is the address?
2581 Main Gate Village Circle in Kissimmee. Woohoo! Kissimmee, Florida. It's more like West Kissimmee.
Yes, when you pull up, you're going to make an immediate right.
Right. Yeah.
Into the parking lot. Trust me, this place has massive parking.
Yeah.
And then when you get out of your car, I'm going to say these 3 words. Follow the flags. We have Emerge flags, big blue, light baby blue flags, and
Yes.
it says Emerge on it. Just follow the flags, and it's going to take you straight to the door. Our sponsors are going to be there from 9 a.m. to 10, setting up. You can come on in, already connect with them, and the doors open at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and we start our conferences. So come, but don't come by yourself. Don't come by yourself. Bring a friend with you as well. But we do have a deadline because we have catering.
Yes.
So we're going to put September 30th. So that way Maria know when is how many people exactly we're going to be feeding September 30th. It's a fantastic menu, I might add. My husband helped me pick it out. So it's gonna be fantastic. Let me see if I'm missing anything else before we head out. We're talking about fasting and praying beforehand, Pastor Michelle. Why do people do that? Like, why is that important to do before an event?
Well, fasting and praying before an event, it helps. It helps the hedge of protection because listen, the enemy is going to he's gonna try it. And I think people sometimes feel like, oh, well, the enemy's going to try the speakers or like people that are involved. But the enemy is going to try every person that is ordained to be in that building.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter if you're not a vendor, if you're not a musician, if you're not a praise and worship leader, if you're not a speaker, if you're just coming to sit and listen and hang out with some women, guess what? He's gonna come and try you. He might make the kids act up that week. He might make your car act up. He may make your body start acting funny. Your job may be acting funny. All things may begin to pop up. And before you freak out, I want you to remember this moment and say, uh-oh, that is an indication that I'm getting ready to encounter and experience a move of God. And so we fast and we pray. so that the hand of the Lord, it's a supernatural. We cut our flesh at that moment. We're putting our flesh to the side, and we're allowing the hand of God, the hedge of protection of the Lord over our life. We're going to be praying and fasting on that day. We do believe. I just know it's going to be a great move of God.
Yeah.
If it's, like I said, I cannot get that image of the next day pasta experience. This is going to be better. And here's the thing, every round goes higher and higher and higher the more that you do it. And so I'm just like, I can't even imagine what it's gonna be. I just know it's gonna be good.
Yes, I'm excited. I have great anticipation that God is going to move in a beautiful way, not just because we are giving in some way, but I'm excited to receive. Like,
Yes, me too.
I know that my cup is going to be filled. There is something that I want everyone to feel when it's over.
Yeah.
Like, what do I want you to leave with? I
Yeah.
want you to leave with something life-changing, something with substance, something long-lasting, that this is not just
Yeah.
another event to mark on the books,
Yeah.
but that this would literally change your life, and that you would find a church, allow yourself to be discipled, and that your businesses would grow and flourish. Everything
I
that it needs,
love it.
because you make God your business partner.
I do believe there's such a stirring in me. I really believe there's going to be a lot of testimonies, business wise,
Mm.
concerning expansion in businesses, connections, even businesses being birthed out, even calls, mantles, um, things that are going to be birthed out that have been sitting on the inside of women for so long. Yeah.
Probably.
I really believe, emerge. First of all, that word is so powerful. And so I know that the hand of God is on it. So I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I really am, just want to sit at the feet and just be filled, like you said. So I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready too. I'm excited. I'm excited for it all. And I'm taking my day of sabbatical where I just disconnect. And then I'm taking a few days to fast as well. I'll share with you those days so that we can come in agreement and do that. But again, ladies, you want to go to emergeinfaith.com. That is where all of the information is, so that you can be a part of this year's event. If I have a girl who's coming from Tampa, I believe she told me she's coming. If she comes, she's going to be translating for me. If we have any Spanish speakers that show up that do not know English, there will be translation. So if we have people that they don't speak any English and I don't want nobody to be lost. So there will be translation as well. And she's coming from Tampa. She's a really good friend of mine as well. And I told her, look, I have a room, like stay the night so you don't have to drive back, like
Yeah.
There are rooms available. Call me and say, listen, Liz, I want to go. I have another girl who perhaps can't pay. We will find somebody to sponsor her spot. Like, let me just share this. We had a sponsor who paid for a single mom's registration because they know that that person needs to be here and they want to be here and they committed to coming. So if just tell me, text me, and
let us know.
Yeah, comment below. I'm going. I haven't paid yet, but I'm going. So that way I know to save your spot. And then if you know somebody, just DM me and send me a message and say, I want to go with so-and-so, but she can't afford her registration. Can we find somebody to sponsor? And we'll make it happen.
We will make it happen. Let us know.
Thank you guys so much. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I don't think I am. I think it's gonna be a great time. I'm so thankful for the sponsors. I'm thankful for you for being a part of this. The fact that I have the covering of my mother and the covering of you, my pastor, together here, it's gonna be a great time.
It's gonna be explosive. I'm excited. I'm ready to be filled up.
Yes, and I'm excited to see my sister-in-law Stephanie and my family if they show up as well. That's going to be a great time for all of us with my daughters there as well. I love you all. Be blessed in the Lord, and we will see you October 5th. October 5th. All right. All right. Be blessed. Thank you, Pastor Michelle.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.